We know that Kol Yisrael Arevim Ze Bazeh, all the Jewish people are connected or considered guarantors for one another. And based on this principle, when we get to Kiddush and also Hamotzi, one person makes the bracha and fulfills the entire congregation and fulfills his entire household's obligation for making that bracha. Just what? The person who answers the bracha, the person who makes the bracha, has to have in mind to fulfill everyone's obligation, and the people who are listening to the person making Kiddush obviously have to have in mind to be yotzeh, to fulfill their obligation through the person saying Kiddush. They answer Amen. It's as if they said the Kiddush themselves, and they all fulfill the obligation. They all fulfill their obligation for the mitzvah of Kiddush. Now, very interestingly, Rav Ovadia Yosef explains that the whole idea of Shomeya KeOneh, where one person recites and everyone who answers Amen fulfills their obligation, there's a few rules to it. First and foremost, you have to understand what the person is saying. You have to be able to comprehend and make out the words that the Mekadesh, the person making Kiddush, is pronouncing. So therefore, he writes that someone who hears Sfaradi and Ashkenazi, who hears a Sfaradi make the bracha, because generally Sfaradim, they pronounce the words in a way where you can understand what they're saying. You know what letters they're saying, what words they're saying. Therefore, even the Ashkenazi will fulfill his obligation. But Rav Ovadia writes here very, very interestingly that on the contrary might not always apply. If a Sfaradi is listening to Kiddush by an Ashkenazi who reads it really quickly, or doesn't pronounce some of the words correctly, or he wasn't accustomed to their minhag of how they read, and he has no idea what words they're saying, he is not yotzeh his obligation of Kiddush. So it's a very interesting halacha Rav Ovadia brings, that you have to be careful that when the person is making Kiddush, you can actually understand what words he's saying and make out the words that you would have said in your Kiddush. Now we explained that when it comes to making Kiddush, one person says it, everyone listening. The people listening have to make sure that they don't interrupt while the person making the Kiddush is saying the bracha. The whole concept is Shomeya KeOneh. It's as if they're saying all the words in the Kiddush. So very often people accidentally talk or accidentally say something while the person making Kiddush is speaking, and that's not so proper. It's not ideal at all for the congregation, for the people listening to the Kiddush, to speak while the person making Kiddush is saying the bracha. Instead, they all have to be quiet. They have to have in mind that we're listening to the person making Kiddush, and we know that he is fulfilling my obligation for saying Kiddush. You answer Amen. It's as if you said the Kiddush, and you fulfilled your obligation. Now, last for today is, what about someone who knows that the person making Kiddush doesn't know how to read so properly, not Sephardi or Ashkenazi, just he mumbles, he eats some words, he skips the words, Baruch Ta Hashem, he doesn't say the words clearly. What should he do? First and foremost, you have to be very smart not to embarrass anyone. It goes without saying. You're not here to correct people or make them feel bad. Don't embarrass anyone. But Rav Ovadia recommends that in a scenario where the person making Kiddush isn't fit to be making Kiddush, you can define that however you please, you should, while he's saying Kiddush, you should say the berachot, all of them, every word, yourself, while looking at his cup, having in mind his cup, and then say Baruch Atah Hashem Mekadesh Shabbat, conclude the beracha, don't answer Amen, and then when you drink from your grape juice, or when you get the grape juice or wine from his cup, that's you drinking the kos shel mitzvah, the kos shel bracha. That's how he advises to be yotzei de chovah, because at the end of the day, the Kiddush has to be said properly and clearly and without any issues. Have a wonderful day.